Screw the timer. It's good enough. I forgot to move my camera. Oh, that's better. My hair is still a little bit wet as well. Um, but whatever. It's getting so long. I vowed to not cut my hair until I make money, so it's just like continuously growing out more and more. It's brutal. Also, I'm streaming really early today, and that's mainly because I'm gonna be streaming something else later, and I don't want the conflict of interest there. So, yeah, that's the reason for that. Let me move to my main screen. Is there anything that I cannot show on screen right now? No. I need to zoom in. This is gonna be our main document for the day. Here we go. Let me zoom in real close. So that it's legible. So I'm essentially making a lead magnet right now. For anybody who doesn't know what a lead magnet is, it's essentially free value that you give away to somebody to try and get them to reach out. The lead magnet has to be something that the audience that you're trying to reach has to give a shit about. So for us, it's home service businesses. So I'm trying to make a guide on, which is basically like a condensed version of what it is that I would provide for them so that they can implement certain pieces themselves. Hey, Mirren. You're saying Mary Gonzalez, but then your YouTube name is Mirren. That's a cool name. I've never heard of Mirren before. That sounds nice. What's up? I wonder if I'm going to get like a completely different audience today because I'm streaming at such a different time compared to the usual. That would make sense, honestly. So I have like an outline written over here for myself, which I'm going to be writing out. I'm also using some like help from ChatGPT to try and speed up the process. The reason I'm not like copying and pasting it and I'm typing it out instead is because I really want to get it all through my head and think about, okay, where will I go back and then fix stuff later? Because it's not going to be perfect. And I have a certain way which I like to write these kind of things myself. So, yeah. That's the idea for today. Let me see our ad campaign. Give me a second, actually. I'm going to take that off the screen. It takes a little bit sometimes for the data from the ad campaign to come in. So I am getting, like, I know it's working because I'm being billed, but I can't see, like, impressions or clicks or anything like that yet. HMZLBD, me. What do you mean by me? So yeah, there's not, like, I don't have any data in the dashboard right now. I can tell you, though, we have at least, like, 6 clicks, 7 clicks or something like that. Because I see it in my Microsoft Clarity. So I could tell you exactly how many we got. I can literally count them. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no, 5, 6. Yeah, 6. Yeah. So, that's okay. It's not a super good ad. I need to record like a video ad today, which I expect to do significantly better. So I'm going to be doing that. Don't know when I'm going to find the time for it, but yeah, because I'll be streaming this for probably at least an hour. Usually I like to go for at least an hour. Usually we do 2, but recently I've been quite busy, so I've been doing a little bit less time on stream. And then I'm gonna have to take a break because then I'm gonna have to make the video ad because I'd like to get that done today. And then I have to make a thumbnail for my next stream. And then I'm gonna stream again on a different channel. So that's that. Anyway, back to main screen. Cool. So might as well just get right to it. A winning offer usually has 3 ingredients. This is something that I'm probably gonna have to change. I'd have to go back through some of my notes and stuff I have on my... Oh, you know what? Let me see. Maybe Notebook LM would be better for this. Let me open up Notebook. This one. What sources do you have? Yes. Okay. So let me see if maybe this will give me some better responses. Let's see. I give it a chance at least, just quickly. And my hair is so flat. Nah, whatever. Who cares? It's just hair. Come on, how long is it gonna take? Come on, bro. Ugh. Mm. Here's the outline of the value document training you create. Okay. Jesus, this is very detailed. Holy shit. I want to make a document which teaches home service business owners how they can get clients. The skeleton of the guide should be the system I provide. It's helping them craft an offer, build create ads that attract people, create landing pages that qualify and convert, and email automated follow up emails to build trust and get people to book in. Using this as a guideline, write me a draft of how I can structure this document. The document should be the training should be better than most people's paid stuff. Anyone who reads it should think to themselves, if he's giving this away for free, imagine how good the paid stuff is. Let's see how that does. I've had this microphone for so long now. It's actually been years. I can't remember when I got it. Same with this camera. I've had this camera for, I can probably calculate it, about 7 years, 7 or 8 years. It's been a long time. I don't like getting new things if the old things I have work. So, you know, why would I? I'm not like too interested in having the newest thing all the time. I just want to have stuff that works and does its job properly. That's about it. Start by directly addressing the reader's skepticism, explain the business model, right? Better free products than what other. Okay. I don't know about that. Hmm. Write the first section of the document. I wonder if I think Notebook LM is more for like getting notes. I don't know if their AI is able to actually utilize it and build stuff well. We'll see. I haven't used it much. I just heard about it from somebody and I tried it. And sometimes it can be helpful for sure in terms of like getting information from very specific documents you give. But I'm not sure how good it is at actually interpreting information that is inside it. Let's see. So this is really on the nose. It's like really saying everything up front. Introduction, why? Let me read it to you because it's quite interesting. I wonder if this kind of angle could actually work. I could test that. So it says introduction, why this is free and why it's better than the $1,000 course you almost bought. If you're reading this, you probably have one problem. You're not getting as many leads as you want because you're not advertising enough. Your potential customers are simply ignorant of your existence, which means less money flows your way. This guide is designed to solve that problem for good by transforming your business into a lead getting machine. You might be thinking, if this is so good, why is it free? The answer is simple: trust. My business model is to provide better free products than what others sell in the marketplace. My goal is to give you so much value in this free guide that it generates incredible results for your business. I want this material to be more valuable than any $1,000 course you could buy. Why? Because once I help you solve your leads problem and grow your profits, I trust that you'll remember who helped you get there. My hope is to earn your trust now so that when you're facing your next set of growth challenges, you'll think of my paid services. That's very on the nose. Like I think that this kind of angle could work, but it would need to be rephrased. It is interesting though. Maybe I could utilize something like that as an idea at least. The way it's written is not very good, but the concept might not be so bad. The commodity trap and how to escape it. Value equation, yeah, that makes sense. All right. That's interesting. You know, I might come back to that. I think I'm just gonna keep writing what I have now and then try to expand upon it by using pieces of that. Maybe that would work. Can I save this? I'll save both of these. Save you. And save you. Okay, let's go back to this. Here we go. Okay, so speed. I kind of want to turn this way because last time I was typing at an angle like that, it was ruining my wrists. I still have wrist pain from like a week ago when I was writing a lot. I wrote like 20,000 words in like a couple days. My hands were cooked. And it seems to have carried over because now my wrist is just constantly in pain. Can you promise faster quotes, responses, or turnaround? Oops. Same day quote guaranteed. Book today, installed tomorrow. Risk reversal. Can you remove their fear of hiring the wrong person? If you're not happy, you don't pay. 5-year no leak roof warranty. Extras. Can you bundle something irresistible with the main job? Free driveway pressure wash with every patio install. Book a full exterior paint job and we'll That's interesting. As in, like you paint the garage door, as in you give them a new garage door, because that's a little odd if that's the case. I'm not sure about that one. I might go back to this one. Add one or more of these to your services, and suddenly you're not just a painter or a roofer. You're the one who gives more value for the same money. Yes. You are heading 5, correct? Yes. Good document hygiene is a great thing to have. Making sure that you use correct headings and stuff. Like you can always change these headings later, like the styling is not that nice. But to have it already makes it so much easier to navigate later. It's great. Examples by industry. Back to normal. Yep. Okay. Landscaper. Get a free 3D design sketch with your landscaping quote, your dream garden before we start. Oops. That was my thing that I pasted into Notebook LM. It's all good. No secrets there. Painter. Book before the end of the month. I'm still turning sideways. It's because it's so hard to look over to this side of the screen. God, my poor wrists. The month and get one extra room painted free. God damn it. Stop it. Let's just copy like a quote or something. Roofer. Free drone roof inspection so you can see the damage for yourself. That doesn't sound that compelling. Not to me anyway. I would not give a shit. So we'll come back to this one. Plumber. Go away. Same day emergency service or the call out fee is free. How would that work? Same day emergency service or oh whoa, shit, holy. Or the call out is free. But if you call up for emergency and they call you out, well, when you're already there, you're already going to provide the service. So unless they mean that like you'll get it fixed on the same day or the call out is free. Maybe instead of emergency service, I would say emergency fix. Same day emergency fix or the call out is free. That sounds better. Notice how each example makes the business instantly more appealing than a generic competitor. This is true. Mini exercise. Build your offer. Grab a piece of paper or your phone notes app. No judgment. That's not that funny. Answer these questions. Uno. No, oops, other one, this one. For service, what's the main thing you sell? E.g. kitchen remodels, roof repair, landscaping. No, there we go. Speed angle. How could you deliver faster than others? Same day quotes, 24-hour turnaround, weekend service. I don't want you to be italic. Risk reversal angle. That's kind of weird. So I don't like this thing here. Being very picky about it, but whatever. How could you make it feel risk-free? Guarantee, warranty, no call out fee if you can't fix it. I guess I don't need these. Extra angle. Oh shit. Oh shit, what is happening? Holy, did I click Control A, delete? Whoops. This is what happens when you have to type sideways. What small bonus could you bundle in? Free add-on, seasonal, special, referral, gift. Now put it together into one sentence. We do core service, and we also that's kind of shit too. Speed, risk, reversal, extra. That's still decent advice though, but I'll come back to this. Nope, wrong highlight. Yellow, please. No, there we go. And do not give me the yellow anymore. Okay. Pro tip, stack the value without stacking the work. Your bonus doesn't always have to cost you more time or money. Examples. Landscaper offering free garden care tips as a PDF after a job. A painter giving free color consultation, just a 15-minute chat. A roofer offering lifetime access to our roof care guide. Let me add some of my own notes. You can even remove small pieces from your core offering and separate it so you can display it as a bonus. Example. What's a good example for that? I'll come back to this. God damn it. Everything is so tiny. Stop! There we go. And get rid of you. Take away. Oh my god. Come on. If you don't have a strong offer, everything else in this guide will underperform. Your ads won't stand out, leads won't convert, and you'll end up competing only on price. This right, and suddenly you're not just another contractor. You're the no-brainer choice in your market. to capture leads reliably. That's kind of retarded. Most service businesses don't have a lead problem, they have a lead flow problem. That's kind of dumb. Hold on, let me read this. I'm just gonna go from here. Goal here is simple. Build a steady stream of qualified leads so you're never sitting around wondering where the next job is coming from. Why most businesses struggle with lead generation. They rely on word of mouth, which is like relying on the weather. You can't control it. They dabble in ads. That's a weird statement. I'm gonna have a lot of this to fix. A Facebook post once isn't marketing, it's donating money to Zuckerberg. That's kind of funny. Hide their contact info. If your contact, if your contact us button takes 3 clicks to find, you've already lost the customer. Not sure about that. Obviously, you want to reduce steps and stuff, but I don't know if that's like a common problem. I haven't seen that at least. Usually the issue is that they give too many methods and it can get confusing. Fast. Leads are perishable. If you don't respond quickly, someone else gets the job. There's a study that I read about that where they said that if you respond to an inbound lead within 60 seconds of form submission, which is pretty insane, right? 60 seconds is fast. But your close rate increases by 391%. It's pretty crazy. The 2 channels that actually matter. Forget the 15 new platforms. For home service businesses, % of booked jobs come from 2 channels. 1, Google high intent leads. I'd rather this be one of those. People literally searching for what you do. Example, plumber near me. Or landscaper Dublin. Pros. They're ready to buy right now. Cons. You need to show up. Okay, that's talking about Google in general, not Google Ads. Okay. Google business profile, reviews, or ads. Yeah, okay. Minimum setup. Claim and optimize optimize your Google business profile. All the best, buddy, in your pursuit. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Add photos of past jobs. The more, the merrier. Get at least 10 solid reviews. Social proof equals bookings. Make sure your phone number is clicked to call. Two Facebook and Instagram ads. Demand generation is about showing up in people's feed before they even start searching. Pros. Scalable, great for promotions. Funnel offers. Cons. Needs a clear offer. See step 1. Minimum setup. What are you trying to build? It's a digital marketing agency. So I have the service that I have specifically planned out is we'd run Facebook ads to a landing page, which we also build, which gets people to, try to book in and give us their email. If they don't book in, then we send them emails with follow-ups of like showing reviews and giving them more value and stuff to try and get them to book in. Doing that for home service businesses. And I also forgot to mention, we also help them craft their offer. So it's like a 4-step system, basically. Offer, Facebook ads, landing page, follow-up. And it's a completely done-for-you system. And with no retainer, it's a one-time payment. So that's how that is. So right now, we're just in the top of funnel stage trying to generate leads. I launched, we had a couple of weeks. I think it was 3 weeks. We tried email marketing, and it wasn't going very well. The CPM that we were having, the CPL, the cost per lead. So in case you're unfamiliar with the jargon, it's basically how much it was costing me to get somebody who was interested was extremely high. I originally did email marketing because I figured it might be cheaper than ads, but after doing it, turns out it's not. So I decided to just launch an ad campaign instead. So I launched an ad campaign a few days ago with like a simple static image ad, and then I have to record some video ads today to add to that with different like headline variants and yada yada. So that's kind of the state we're in right now as well. Simple image. Right now I'm just doing like a lead magnet, which I can use for my ads. Which again, if you don't know the jargon, is a free thing I'm going to give away to people who would be interested in my service to try and help them to build trust so that they would want to hire me to do the thing for them. So I'm essentially just teaching them simple parts of the system that they can implement themselves and hoping that they would actually implement some of those things, get better results, or maybe they wouldn't have time, but they really like the way that everything sounds and the results that they would get. And because I gave them the thing for free, they might be like, well, this guy gave this thing for free. Clearly he knows what he's doing. I don't have the time to set all of this up myself. I'd just have him do it, and then he'd want to pay for the service. That's essentially how that works. I might be telling you stuff you already know, but I don't know anything about you, so... What your lead capture system should look like. Here's the flow. Super simple. Do I want... Yeah, I guess. Let me do it like this, though. Ad/Google search. Landing page or direct call button. Form submission. Name, phone. Name, phone, service needed. Instant notification. to you. Mail plus SMS. Immediate follow up text. I think there's enough space. What are you talking about? SAR. What do you mean by there's enough space? I can land an Airbus. What are you talking about? Could you help promote Linux as an upgrade to Windows 10 owners so they don't have to throw old hardware away and buy a new machine? I don't know anything about Linux, brother. I'm the wrong person to ask. I know that it's mainly suited for programmers, but I really just don't know enough. Are you just going around, out of curiosity, are you just like going around to a bunch of people's live streams and asking for that? What is Kubuntu? Forgot the big brain. Is that an insult as to the size of my head? If so, that's fine. I get it. My head is not that big. It's a little bigger than average. It's a marketing issue, which I figure is what you're doing. Yeah, is it something that you built? The Ubuntu Linux? I really don't know anything about it. So you're just trying to market that thing? Hold on, I'm kind of curious about this. Linux. Open source and free. How are you monetizing it then? Or is it just you're doing it out of the goodness of your heart? Greed. Okay, fair. Look at the website. I don't have that much time to go through all of it. Like we don't, but we can take donations. Okay. So you're relying on donations then. Well, let me tell you immediately, when I click on the contribute button, it says service unavailable. So that's a problem. Might want to fix that. Same with when I click on community and about. So is it like, what was the thought process behind it? You're creating a free thing in the hopes that people are going to donate? Are you doing it as like a passion project, or are you doing it because you actually want to make money from it? We have a new website and build. Okay. Isn't Linux an open source OS? It is it not? Isn't that one of the reasons why programmers like it? Passion project. Okay, understood. Cool. So you don't care that much about the money. So yeah, I guess in market, yeah, for you then I guess you just care more about showing it off. You could probably do well with social media content. I imagine you're probably making a lot of that. If not, you should be, because that's like the easiest way that you could probably, if you don't care about the money, that's the easiest way to spread the word, because you wouldn't care that much about how long it takes. In mechanical engineering first semester, I got a project to build a working microcontroller and programming. I don't do programming, sorry. I don't know anything about programming. I'm not a programmer. I'm a marketer. As how to do we get in front of users, but specifically Windows 10, which is going end of life. Why would people choose your OS over any other? Like, what's wrong with regular Linux? What problem do you guys solve that's different from the regular Linux? The better studies show that calling within 60 seconds of submission increases close rate by 1%. Yes, close rate. But how do I build it? Why are you calling me poppies? Don't be weird. What are you, a faggot? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Try to use ChatGPT. Did you like if you're in college and you're getting given that as like an assignment to do? Did they not teach you enough information for you to be able to do it? Or are they just expecting you to research and find out yourself? If so, good luck, because research is probably the most valuable skill that you can learn in college, in my opinion. Windows 11 needs a new machine. Ubuntu does not and is still supported. Very similar desktop feel to Windows. But what do you mean by Windows 11 needs a new machine? Like a new PC? Because from what I've read, that's not necessarily the case. You just have to like... I don't remember what it was. I don't want to spew bullshit, but I remember that reading about it, and it said that you essentially just need to make a very small few tweaks to it, and then it'll work fine. Older hardware which does not have TPM will not run it. How old? If the hardware itself is already fairly old, then like, so you essentially would want to how old? First of all, just out of curiosity, how old would the hardware have to be? Because computers usually have a lifespan of like about 4 years. Obviously, you can extend it beyond that, but that's when they usually start getting problems, from my experience. It's also in accounting, you write off computers after 4 years usually. They're assumed to be useless in the financial sense. So if it's hardware over 4 years old, I mean, I imagine a lot of people wouldn't be using it that much anyway. I'm just trying to be devil's advocate here. Like, I don't know anything about what you're doing and why you decided to do it. I'm just trying to get a sense of, like, how big of a problem is this? How many people could it possibly help? Stuff like that. It's important to know the reasons. One of the like most important things in any business that you can have is a USB. So, which is a unique selling point. So you really need to have a very solid reason for why people not only should want to buy your thing, which is more related to the offer, but also why they should specifically buy from you or use your thing and not anybody else's. So I always make sure that I understand like what is the core reason behind it. Like if it's helping people with old hardware, and if it's over 4 years old, there wouldn't be a lot of people using that anyway. And if there are, those like the computers would run really slow anyway. And I don't know if you'd probably just be helping mostly really poor people with shitty hardware. So I guess like that is like a noble pursuit in a way. I can understand that. But then also you have to determine then how do you reach these people. Maybe targeting demographics where people are more like people have like lower wealth levels. So maybe something like India could perhaps benefit from that. In which case, starting just the normal Instagram page would help you reach a lot of that. There's a lot of like it seems like you mostly reach like India and Asia around when you start any social media page, at least from my experience. So maybe those people would probably benefit from it more. So you could target those kind of demographics, and it would increase the amount of users, most likely, more than targeting like a rich neighborhood. I don't think it's a marketing issue, but having a strong USB issue. That is a marketing issue. Not having a strong USB is a very problematic marketing issue. The thing is, people always think of marketing as just being primarily ads and attention. But that's not what it is. Like obviously that's an important part of it. But the most important part, in my opinion, of marketing is your offer, basically your offer, which includes like, USB, guarantee, urgency, scarcity, whatever it is. It's super important that you have an amazing offer. If you don't have a good offer, like you're not going to do well. You can have an amazing offer and have shitty advertising, and still do amazingly. Because if you think of it like this, if you have the greatest burger in the world, somebody takes a bite and I don't know, their eyes roll into the back of their head, they fucking jizz in their pants. You don't need marketing. You give like 10 of those burgers away, every single person is going to tell every other person that they know. And the word will spread automatically. That's the importance of a great offer. Because if you have a shitty offer and you want to show it to loads of people, which is the like alternative to that, the opposite of that, you're not going to do nearly as good. Most people will not give a shit. Most people will be like, well, why should I pick this guy? There's this other guy who does the same thing but cheaper and better because they're a big company. You're going to get barely any sales and you're going to plummet significantly more money. So the offer is the single most important component of marketing. Which kind of surprises me why so many marketing agencies, from what I've seen, don't help businesses craft a better offer. Because it's such an important thing. Like most of the ones that I've seen primarily focus on the attention part, which is good, but it's not the most important thing. At least in my opinion. They said to research everything. How can I? I mean, college started like a week ago and expecting me to build a whole Arduino. I don't know what to do. Just, I don't know. Look, college is primarily about research. So sorry to tell you that. You think college is going to be like you go to professor and they teach you shit and they tell you what to do? Nah. College is you go to a class, you sit down, the dude goes over some stuff, maybe that's important to know, some like foundational stuff, and he's like, all right, now look this up and figure out how to do this, good luck. And that's it. So yeah, I'm going to tell you the same thing. Just look it up and good luck. Just joined. What are you building? Lucid Rogers, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. So I'm building a digital marketing agency from the ground up. We have a service which we're going to be providing for home service businesses, which includes offer creation, running Facebook ads, building their landing pages and funnels, helping them with follow-ups and converting. And then I was thinking eventually I might add sales training into it too, but right now we don't have it. So I essentially want to build like a complete client acquisition system for home service businesses. Because most home service businesses suck at marketing. Thanks, man. That was great advice. Focus on the offer, make the product great. Appreciate it. Yeah, no problem. I really hope it helps you out. Like genuinely, if you can somehow come up with a way to make it seem like the offer is just so good, it makes people feel stupid saying no. Some books I could tell you that might help you out. All of the Alex Hormozy books are amazing. His leads book and his offers book are for free on Apple Podcast. You could listen to those. Those will do an amazing job at explaining to you how to build a really good offer and how to get people interested in the offer. Those would be amazing. Genuinely, you could listen to the entire books probably in one day if you just listen to it all day and take notes. Super useful books. And after that, the only thing that you really need to worry about probably is the sales aspect. But if you really, really nail the offer, the sales thing is easy. You don't need a lot of knowledge there. So take a look at those two books. I promise you they will do wonders for you. You look like a good guy. Thank you. I try my best to be. Give me just a second. I need to make myself a stream markers thing. Only one thing and I'm off. You look like Bruce Wayne. No, I don't. But that's a nice compliment. I appreciate that. Thank you. Good luck with your project. Sorry I can't help you. Like I said, I'm not a programmer. It's funny actually how many programmers come to these streams. I don't know why. It seems like, I guess maybe because I have the word build and they assume that I'm building like a SaaS product of some sort. That would make a lot of sense. But no, I don't know anything about programming. Like that's part of the fun in this, is that we've built a lot of systems, like the cold outreach system and stuff like that. which do stuff for us automatically using like no code builders and ChatGPT and stuff. And they've been working out pretty well. And that's been really fun. Part of the fun in doing it is that I don't know anything about what I'm doing. I'm a front-end programmer too, and this got recommended to me. Really? By who? I might know them. I'm usually pretty good at remembering people from chat. I'm streaming really early today. Usually I stream at 3 p.m. CEST, which is in like 3.5 hours. No, 2.5 hours. Streaming early because I want to stream something else later. Anyway, back to this thing. Yes. That's it. Oh, a YouTube algorithm. Oh, okay, okay. That's what you meant. I thought you meant recommended by someone. Okay. Yeah, I guess maybe it's like one of those things that it showed it to like a seed audience who happened to be programmers, and because a bunch of them watched, then it's just started recommending to more programmers. Maybe that's what's happening. Sometimes the algorithm can be a bit weird. What is it that you do? What do you build? Good luck with your thing. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Give a thought to Jim. What? Do you mean, do I have a thought? Do I have thoughts about working out? Is that what you're asking me, or am I misunderstanding that completely? Fine. Mini exercise. You know, since I've talked to so many SaaS guys, I'm starting to like develop a pretty good knowledge of how to market SaaS products. Mostly I focus on service businesses. I find them just easier. There's less headache. Online marketing, like marketing online services, is more challenging for sure because there's lower trust, there's more competition and stuff like that. And a lot of the online people would have more of a knowledge of marketing just because naturally of what they do, they're quite good with like technology. Obviously not everybody, but it's harder to compete. But I'm starting to get a pretty good knowledge on how to market SaaS products. Like because people just keep exposing me to it, I keep doing like more and more research, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. Oh, you could set up wait lists. Oh, you could, you know, use this strategy to bring people here, and you know, it's just it's interesting. The USB is still like the top thing you got to worry about with SaaS, especially like I say that the offer is extremely important in general, but it is especially important for SaaS products because you will be blown out of the water immediately with it. Like, look, unless you can create something new that does not exist, you are going to be absolutely creamed by your competition because almost anything that you will build that already exists, there's already a multi-million-dollar business which has gotten the price down to be extremely cheap, which provides a lot of services and has a lot of functions in it already. And their marketing is much better, and they have a lot more money to spend on the marketing and everything else. So you will be absolutely cooked if you don't have a good offer. The thing that I would recommend for most SaaS founders is focus on one thing. Pick one thing, one problem that you can solve for a specific type of customer. That is the best way that you can stand out. So I can give you an example. Say you take something like a web builder, like Wix or Framer or Figma or Webflow. So they're web builders. You can use those to build a website, but you have to learn how to use it. You have to know good marketing principles. You have to know copywriting. You have to know yada yada to try and get everything configured, right? You have to know how to connect your domain. There's a lot of steps to it, but it's a very full program which has very low, like, let me rephrase. It has a high ceiling. So there's a lot you can do with it. There's a lot of features and there's a lot of customizability that you can do. But then you take something like, there's this business called Perspective Funnels. They are also a web builder, but they specifically niche down to solving one problem, which is building high converting funnels for businesses. They built a bunch of templates. They built a really simple no-code builder, which just has a few blocks. You can drag and paste, and all of the funnels pretty much look the same. They have like some AI and some other stuff built in to try and do your copywriting, and the AI is trained to do a decent job, so it's much better than what most people would come up with. And they have some preset templates with questions that you could ask in qualification and stuff like that. It's extremely easy to use. And it solves one very specific problem. And they are crushing it. They're doing extremely well. And they're charging more than something like Webflow or Wix. Wix is extremely cheap. It's like 20 euro a month or something. Perspective are charging like 100 euro a month for essentially one like hundredth of the features. Why? Because they target one specific person with one specific problem. Actually, they're not targeting one specific person. That's wrong. They're quite generalized now. But they're targeting one specific problem which they can solve for a lot of people in an extremely simple and fast way. That's why they are winning. And you have to also look at it from the eyes of like the deliverability. Can you imagine how much processing power and how much expertise it takes to build something like Wix? With this, with the perspective funnels, because there's so few features and the features are so specific, you don't need a big team. You can have a team of like a few people build all of it and maintain all of it. So your, what am I trying to say? Your margins are going to be way better too. And because you're also getting to charge more, your margins are going to be better. And it's going to be less of a headache with management. There's so many benefits to just taking one small thing that you can solve for people. And you can make this as narrow as you could possibly get. Like you could narrow down to one specific problem you solve for one specific person. That lets you charge even more. That lets you stand out even more for sales reps. Well, now you can charge like $50 because it's more specific. Imagine you sell a time management course for a B2B real estate, commercial real estate sales reps. Now you could probably charge like $1,000 for a course like that. This is what I mean, is it increases the perceived value, because anybody who would see that, they'd be like, wow, this is made exactly for me. Comparing that to something like a typical time management course, the perceived value in their head is so low. So there you go. There's a bunch of advice for everybody about everything. It's great. What's with the 2 live streams on the same platform? Because the shorts algorithm pushes to more people. So I do the horizontal because I personally prefer that. Whenever anybody streams horizontally, I never watch the short streams. I find them like a lot uglier and not as fun to watch. But it pushes the algorithm more. So anybody who wants to be like more of like a long-term viewer, somebody who's interested in seeing more of what's happening, you have the option to go to the horizontal. I also stream on Twitch for anybody who prefers Twitch. So anyway, that's enough of me spieling about marketing. Cool. I'm probably not gonna go for that much longer. Like I said, I have a lot of shit to prepare today. So we had a good few conversations. I'm gonna probably finish off the rest of this point and then call it a day. What are you doing now? Hey Guru, what's up? I'm surprised you're here at this time. Did you get a notification or something? Are you still in college? No, I finished college long. Do I look that young? Do I really look that? How old do you think I am? I have a lot of experience. I'll tell you after you tell me how old you think I am. And Guru, I'm just writing out a lead magnet. So like a free document I want to give away to people. So they would want to work with me. You think I'm 25. Okay. What about the other guy? 24. Okay. So, I mean, 24 still in college. What do you think? I'm doing like a master's or something? Just found this good luck. Thank you. I really appreciate it, Lauren. I am 23. So let me tell you a bit about my experience for anybody who's interested. So I went to college for 2 years to do business management. I stopped after 2 years. So basically, look, there's this thing that I saw. You can go, at least when I was living in Ireland, you could go take a bachelor's degree, which is 4 years, or you could do something called a higher certificate and then do a bachelor's after it if you get good grades and are able to get into it. So essentially, you would do the higher certificate for 2 years, and then you have the option to go into year 3 of the bachelor's to finish your bachelor's. And in that case, you get 2 degrees, you get 2 certifications. So I thought, why the hell would I just get the bachelor's if I can do the higher certificate and the bachelor's? So I was like, okay, I'm going to do the 2 year one. So I did the 2 year one. 1 year into my course, I got a job as an accountant at this firm. I basically went in, I was like, look, I'll work for free. Let me just prove to you that I can do all of this stuff, whatever. They liked me after a couple of weeks. I was doing a good job, so they took me on, and I worked there for a year while I was in college. In that work, I found out about auditing and like chartered accountancy and stuff like that because I was doing a lot of accounting in that job. And I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. And there was this guy who came to audit our company, who, you know, was in charge of doing the audits. And I talked to him and I was like, hey, I kind of want to do this chartered accountancy thing. That sounds fun. I want to try it out. And he's like, okay, go talk to this guy. And I'm like, okay. I messaged the other guy, and I had a bunch of these emails back and forth with loads of people from the company until I eventually got one of them to give me an interview. It took months. And also, usually the intake for chartered accountancy, they have to take people in a year in advance. I actually ended up getting the interview, and I got offered the position without a bachelor's degree, which is a prerequisite for most people. I was the youngest person in the college by like, in the office by like 3 years. And I also didn't have to wait a year. They just took me in immediately. So then I worked in audit, doing chartered accountancy for 2 years. So the way that works, for anybody who doesn't know, is you have these qualifications you have to go towards chartered accountancy, and you also need 3.5 years of work experience. So it's essentially, I was working 40 hours a week, and on top of that, I had to study for exams that were fairly hard, mind you. So it was pretty challenging, but I did that. Then after like a year, all of this AI stuff started becoming popular, and I was like, I kind of want to do that. I've always wanted to have my own business since I was younger, so maybe I should transition into this. And then I just started getting more and more into it. And at one point, I was like, you know what? I don't want to live a normal life. I never have. If I continue doing this and I finish my accountancy degree and I go get a job as like an accountant at a bank or something, and I could make a decent salary, like starters, chartered accountancy starters make like 70 grand a year, euro. So I would have had a decent like career, decent job. And the potential is limitless as well, depending on how good you are. But I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna do this, I'm never gonna take the risk to do anything else. So I decided to quit, and I was like, okay, I'll take all my savings, I'll quit my job, I will move country so that I cannot get another job because I don't speak the local language. And I will just force myself to work on this until it works. And now I'm here. Then I decided to start live streaming it a couple months ago. So that's basically my entire story of how I'm here. Now, bro, sounds like that one unk who thinks he broke the system, but is drunk all day and says random things. Well, could be. I mean, I have no evidence that anything that I know actually works at this point. But hopefully I will get to find out soon. This ad campaign, as I keep improving it and adding more to it, it will start to prove to me whether or not I know what I'm talking about. Just kidding. Hope you make it in life. Thank you. I really appreciate that. What is it that you do? You in school, work, or college? 3. When a lead comes in, do you get notified instantly? Yes, no. Or can a lead call / text you in one click? Yes, no. If you answered no more than twice, you're leaking leads and money. All right, next pro tip. Don't overcomplicate it. Most contractors, they need a fancy website or big budget ads. In reality, this is actually very true. I can tell you from experience. I knew a guy. So the remember I just told you about the company that I worked for when I was in college. So in that company, they were running ads for their business. And I shit you not, they had like 1,000x return on their ad spend. They were spending like $1,000 a month on ads, and they were converting people for projects worth tens of thousands of euro. Their return on ad spend was insane. And get this, this is the important part. The ads were not good. They were having a little bit of like lead problems because of it. A lot of the leads that would come in were quite low quality. But because of the 1 or 2 leads that they would convert from the hundreds that reach out, it would like more than make up for the budget that they would have. And that's with shitty ads. I don't want to insult them, but the ads weren't doing anything. They had some good marketing like in the offline space. They had some like radio stations and some other things they were working with, and that was potentially bringing in a lot of the customers too. But they were getting a lot of stuff from just Facebook ads, even though the ads were not optimized at all. They were just essentially showing the process of the building. They weren't giving any offer. They weren't giving any benefit. They were just like, oh, and then they weren't even giving a specific call to action. They're just like, oh, just reach out. So yeah, you can do a lot with a fairly small budget and without a lot of fancy knowledge. Building the Arduino and having a little chat with you. Stop calling me Poppy. Are you gay? I was gonna say, if you're not, stop it. But if you are, I want you to stop it as well. Whether you are or not. Hold on, give me a second. I'm gonna blow my nose. Literally, I had like 6 extra people come in as soon as I clicked the intermission button, and then they all left. What a fucking great timing. I didn't say that well. Ignore the broken English. Look, I'm quite tired. I've been doing this shit for 52 days straight. It really starts to weigh on you. Like, you can go back to my older streams and see that I didn't always have these enormous bags under my eyes. Single landing page. With your offer, a photo and a form is enough. A simple 10 to 20 per day ad. Let me add a euro symbol here too. I hate having an American keyboard sometimes because I have to type in the code for the euro sign. Generating calls. Responding faster than your competitor is often all it takes to win the job. Yeah, most of these people are horrible with the response times. Having like an automated system for it would be really useful. Sorry, pal. No, like I'm not... I mean that in like a joking way. I don't really care. I used to be in a medical college, dropped out, learned to code, and now working at a company exploring some more things. That's really interesting. So you must be smart then. Give us some smart knowledge. What's the best piece of advice you've ever heard? Or what's the best piece of advice you think you could give? You're gonna have some time to think about it, but don't think about it too much because you'll realize that there's a lot of advice that you could give and you won't be able to choose. How much money is needed to start a business? What do you think? You can start almost any business for less than $500. The most important thing is to generate demand. So if you can come up with a really, really good offer, like it can essentially be anything. It doesn't even have to be an online business. Like you can think about it like this. Let me explain it like this. Say you wanted to start a power washing business. You just power wash people's front yards. So you buy a power washer. Doesn't have to be super expensive. You could probably get one for a couple $100. You'd set up a website, you'd set up emails, you could learn how to use a web builder and use some kind of template for it very easily. Spend a couple hundred a month, a couple hundred a year for hosting. Set all of that stuff up so you have about $500-ish. Go to your neighbor, say, hey, I'm your neighbor. I want to start a power washing business. I'm trying to get some experience. Can I power wash your front yard for free? Most of the time, people are going to say, sure. Why not? Because they get something for free that's valuable. You're not going to take up their time, and you're their neighbor, so there's high trust. The most important thing in business is trust, basically. Like, in terms of the only real metric, like, look, think about it like this. If you have a good offer, let me explain like this. A good offer is something that you provide more value to somebody else than you receive in return. So you're essentially giving somebody money and they're giving you less back. That's essentially kind of how it works. You need to give more value than you receive. That's how you have a functioning business, and that's how you make people happy. If you have that, then the only thing you're missing is trust. Do they believe you? Do they believe that you can do it? How risky is it for them? And all of that jazz. If you're doing free stuff for a neighbor, the trust is extremely high. So you're solving one of the critical problems. That's why it's very likely to work. Even if you're just fully honest, just human. Like, I knock on my neighbor's door. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to just get some experience in power washing. I noticed you're, maybe I could do your yard for free. How would you feel about that? Just be human. They're your neighbors. Hopefully you've seen them at least a few times and they would trust you. And you're like, I literally live right there. So like, they can complain to you if they're unhappy with what happened. Do that for that neighbor. Go to the next guy. Hey, same situation. Can I power wash your yard for free? They're probably going to say sure as well. Go to the third neighbor. Hey, I'm your neighbor. I did these other two neighbors' yards for power washing. Would you be interested as well? It's $20. They don't have to know you did the other two for free, but now you have the trust of being their neighbors, and also you have some social proof because you did it right across the yard, and they can literally just peek their head over and see how good of a job they did. And you're quite likely to make that sale. And that's just how you can progress from there. And that's very low amount of money. If it's something online, the thing you can start with is just generating demand. Like, you can start a social media profile. Social media is free. So you can go and just post about your experience, about what it is that you're doing, generate demand, set up a simple landing page where you can set up a wait list, get a bunch of people interested and excited about the thing that you're going to launch. And then after you set up the wait list, like, think about this in terms of like an e-commerce store. Let's say you're building some kind of prototype for something that you don't have yet and you can't sell. Set up a wait list, generate demand, get like hundreds of people that sign up for your waiting list, launch the product, sell it, get a fuckload of sales, then use the money from your sales to build all of the stuff. Tell everybody, hey, sorry, we ran out. There's going to be a short delay. You'll have your thing in 3 weeks. And then use all the money you made for the production. Build the thing, send it out. There. Literally almost no cost to you and no risk. You can apply this to almost any business. Genuinely. Obviously, don't be retarded. Don't start a plane, like a fucking, plane business. That would be retarded. That you need hundreds of millions of dollars to buy fucking planes. So it can't apply to that. But yeah. Nice curtains. Thank you. I have a short circuit. Bye. Okay, bye. Hey, it's here. Yeah, I did start early today because I want to stream Silk Song later. So. The theory, not like reality. It is exactly like that. I promise you. What wouldn't work about what I said? Go on social media. It's free. Generate demand is free. Get a bunch of people opting in. When people are excited and are opting in, they clearly want the thing. Launch it. People buy. You provide. It's simple. People have done this before. Like, it's not just theory. Like, I know people who have done this, and it's worked. I can tell you, everything that you can do in life is so much easier than you imagine it to be. The issue is that it also takes disproportionately longer than you expect it to. So you think that it's hard. You confuse difficulty with time. Things are easy. They just take a long time if you want to do them well. Why Diddy's so successful? I know fuck all about Diddy. All I know is that he supposedly molested children. That's literally all I know. I don't follow like online drama very much. Anyway, that's that. Finish that. Who's your favorite rapper? I don't listen to music. The only music I listen to is like video game music. Whenever I feel like I need some kind of background music, or I listen to like forest sounds and birds chirping. That's it. I don't really listen to much other music. I mean, I guess out of everybody I know, probably just Eminem, because I grew up with his music. I used to listen to more music when I was younger. I just don't anymore. I've never really seen the appeal. I prefer to make music over listening to it. So that's just my preference. Best piece of advice: have really high learning rate in your 20s. Most things are really simple but require consistent effort. Yeah, exactly. A lot of things really are simple. It's just consistency is genuinely one of, like, being consistent is one of the best things that you can do in anything in life. The simplest way to explain it is in terms of going to the gym. If you go to the gym once a month, or like just, I don't know, occasionally, maybe you go for like a week, then you stop for a month, and then you go for another couple days, you're gonna really, really struggle with making progress. But if you go every day, like even if you overwork, if you go every day, you're gonna look fucking jacked after a year. I promise you. So it really is not that hard. It's all about consistency. Our brains are really good at learning. Like, look, the thing is, you don't have to really put effort into learning. You think you do, but you really don't. Learning is essentially just exposure to something repeatedly. If you constantly expose yourself to whatever learning materials you're reading, like for example, say you have a book and you really want to memorize a page of a book, read the page of the book 10 times every day for a year. It might not take that long, but after a year, you will be able to recite word for word the entire page. You don't have to put you don't have to put effort into it. Your brain does the magic of the learning. You just have to expose your brain to the thing you want to learn enough times so that it remembers. Same reason why whenever you learn something and you go to sleep, come back the next day, you're usually better at it. Even in your sleep, your brain is processing all the information that you learned from the day before. So it really is just about consistency. I don't think, like, almost nobody is too stupid to do anything as long as they're consistent. It's literally that easy. Don't overcomplicate it. You're not an idiot. You're not slow. Even if you're a little bit slower at learning than most other people, if you are consistent and the other people are not, you will win with time. Consistency, you should literally just like write down the word consistency on like a sticky note. Put it fucking everywhere. Put it on your monitor, put it on your wall, put it on your door so you can see it constantly. Just remind yourself that's what's most important. Why being consistent is hard, but being lazy. Yeah, laziness is not super easy to get over, but like you really just have to. I think that the easiest mentality trick that you can really have in your mind about accomplishing anything is is the thing that I want to accomplish worth more to me than not? So you think about, if you want to get jacked and you're like, okay, I fucking love eating. I'm fat. I love eating, but I want to get jacked. Is getting jacked worth getting rid of the nice things I need to eat? Well, you need to determine that. If the answer is no, you will never win. You will fail. It doesn't matter how much you try. You won't be able to do it. But if you can convince yourself that the answer is yes, that actually I really want that, you lay out the pros and cons. Okay, pros, you get more attention from people. People respect you more. You feel healthier. You don't struggle to get out of bed. You write down all of the positives and then the negatives. It's like, well, negatives from the working out thing is you just don't get to eat as much of the nice things you like to eat. And you have to work out, and working out is hard. Loads of benefits, not many negatives. Then you do the same thing on the other way around. Okay, all of the food that I eat, what are the benefits? Well, it tastes good. That's about it. What are the cons? I feel like shit, struggle to get out of bed, my teeth are rotting, yada yada. And you start to realize, fuck, this is actually not worth it. And it makes it easier to make that decision. You have to want something to be able to do it. Whatever way you want to convince yourself to do it is your prerogative, but you have to convince yourself to do it. My nose itchy. Anyway. This whole stream just feels like it's just been fucking an advice stream. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. I have some stuff I have to take care of. So, hey, Ellabek, what's up? Yeah, I streamed early today. Sorry. Because I want to stream Silksong later. For anybody who's still here, I have a second channel. I'm gonna stream Hollow Knight Silksong when it comes out at 4 today. For anybody who wants to join me for that. Because I really, really want to play the game. And the only way that I can feel even moderately productive about finally taking a day off after months of no days off is if I stream it. So I just didn't want to mess up the consistency of these streams, so I figured I'll just stream a little early to get it out of the way. So yeah, that's that. For anybody who wants my other channel, I'll type it into the shorts chat. It's called that. Should be able to find it. Don't know if you will, but should be able to find it. If not, sorry, good luck. Subscribe. Thank you, I appreciate it. Hope to see you around. So thanks everybody so much for watching. Happy to have you all around. Everybody who's new here, everybody who's returning. For all the returning viewers, sorry. I know I streamed at a different time today. My bad. But maybe I'll see some of you guys later. And that's about it. Yeah. See ya.